Good morning, respected sir and madam, and our dear students. Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear my voice? Sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. It's an immense pleasure to welcome Mr. K. Uma Maheshwaran, planning engineer from L&T, as our guest speaker to address the webinar on the introduction to building information modeling on this wonderful day. I also welcome our head of the department, Mr. Shanmugarajan sir, and my faculty members and my dear students. I extend my gratitude to also welcome our beloved participants from various institutions and industries upon our greetings. I wish that every one of you are safe and healthy with your near and dear ones amidst this pandemic situation. I'm handing over the session to Mohammed Naina, our students coordinator from third year civil department.
Good morning to one and all present here. Myself, Mahmoud Naina, and I am from third year of civil engineering from Muhammad Sadaq KJ College of Engineering. I would like to welcome all the guests and our head of department, Mr. Shanmugarajan sir, and all the students of Muhammad Sadaq KJ College of Engineering and other institutions. Mr. Uma Maheshwaran K is a digital enthusiast, a civil engineer professional striving to merge the digital world and the construction world with the efforts to spread the same through guest lectures and workshops for all colleges. He is serving as a planning engineer at Larsen and Toubro Constructions, before which he was a part of a team who executed one of India's largest shaft, depth of 164 meters for a hydel dam project in Uttarakhand, India. He had also served as a planning manager for a consultancy firm handling multiple projects, 2 journal papers in international conferences, one of which talks about effects of Internet of Things on construction industry, and the other comparing MIVAN and conventional shutterings. His other certificates include training on geology and civil engineering in UPES Dehradun, certification for project management at L&T IPM Vadodara. His key focus is to keep tracking current future trends in digital world and figuring out ways to implement them in the construction world. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining with us. I would like to give this session to our head of department, Mr. Shanmugarajan, sir.
Thank you, Naina. I would like to welcome building information modeling. So, before going to the topic, I would like to share some of the views about our department and our college. So, Muhammad Sadaq College. So, this college has been established in the year 2001 in July, and under the aegis of Muhammad Sadaq Trust. It is approved by AICTE New Delhi, and Muhammad Sadaq KJ College of Engineering strives to continuously upgrade its facilities to provide quality technical education to meet the industrial and societal needs by providing skill-based training with the state-of-art facilities. Our campus sprawling over 70 acres of greenery located inside the Sidcot IT Park, Siriseri in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. So it is surrounded by multinational IT companies such as TCS, CBS, Intellect, Aspire, Polaris, etc. So Muhammad Sadaq KJ College of Engineering has a good infrastructure facilities such as spacious classroom, drawing halls, laboratories, seminar halls, computer facilities with the internet and Wi-Fi connectivity, library, workshops, auditorium and playground. The college is well connected by the road, drives and air from various parts of the country A team of well qualified and experienced faculty supports the teaching and learning process. The college provides equal importance for academic, co-curricular, and extracurricular activities. In MSIGC, all kinds of training program for the professional and overall transformation of the students is provided. And our department, civil engineering, was established in the year 2007. Within a short span, it has achieved the lead in many areas of academics, cultural, and sports. The department has set up a great tradition of producing eminent engineers who are confident and committed to the high professional standards in the field of engineering and technology. The department proudly offers the various verticals as postgraduate programs of the foundation with the specialization in structural engineering. The graduate scholar enrich and shine their edges of knowledge by receiving the state-of-art knowledge from the highly qualified and dedicated faculty members. In MSHSCE, the students enjoy the regular industrial visits based on their curriculum and scope of their study. That is why MSHSCE has been the best choice since the last couple of years in the civil engineering branch, along with all other branches in the entire region. As a result, we the faculty also rejoice and enrich learning mass and we remain well tuned and energized from the challenges to be overcome. Civil engineers are always at work to build and safe and stable habitat for the mankind, and at MSHSCE we are all committed to carve the future in the classroom and laboratories. Once again, I would like to welcome all the participants for the one-day webinar on BIM. I would like to hand over the session to a guest speaker, Uma Maheshwaran sir. Sir, welcome sir.
Hello, sir. Sorry for interrupting, sir. I have shared a link from what Uma Maheshwaran sir is going to take the classes on. You can also view this using this link, sir. And also, we have forwarded you the YouTube link for streaming this same session. Thank you, sir.
So no additions, sir. We can start the session.
Can someone confirm whether my voice is audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Oh, yeah.
It's audible, sir. Audible.
Yeah. I'm extremely sorry. We had a sudden problem with my Google Meet. Okay, sorry. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. Then we can continue. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm extremely sorry for the delay because of the Google Meet. Okay.
No issues, sir. No issues.
Okay, so all the staffs and members of the Bhubaneswar College, thank you for the introduction. It's a privilege for me to present this, and I'm always there like for any these mentioned. I'm very happy to present my presentation on the building information management. Okay, so as I said, I'm working in LLT right now, and BIM was one of the big fascinations to say when I was in college itself. Okay. So when I was in college, the term itself was not heard of at that time. So when I say it's like 8 to 9 years ago to say, and even today, many civil engineers don't know about this. So that is the pathetic part. So that is what needs to be changed. And I think college is the best place to start with that. So if you people who are in this meeting know about BIM, I'm so much happy. And if you don't know, and if you want to start about or understand what is happening, and then this is the session for that. Okay, now we will jump straight into the session. Okay. So what is BIM actually? So is it a software or a process? Is it a 3D virtual model of a building? Or is it a collection of all building data to help a query in a visual way? Or like these are the things that people assume when they hear the word BIM, right? So it is actually everything and much more. Okay, so it is when one of the main misconception is that people think that BIM is a software, which is not. BIM is not a software. It is a process. It is a concept. Okay, so it is like to put it simply, it is like having a single file for the whole construction project. I'm telling in very, very, very low layman's terms. Okay, so just to put it simply, all the work, all the data, everything is collectively put and shared as a single file is the concept of BIM. Okay, so we'll go deep into that. And before continuing, I want to just remind you that, right now you're seeing the screen share of my laptop, okay? But I have also shared a iCloud link with Sarangan. I think he posted it in the chat right now. So you can also click that link to view, you can have my voice in the Google Meet, but you can click that link and you view this presentation in the browser itself. So if you look in the browser with that link, it will be of higher quality, that's all. So it's just an option for you, you can check it out, okay? Okay, moving forward. So yeah, what is a BIM? So it is actually a BIM model. It is nothing but a virtual equivalent of the actual building parts and the pieces used in building. So when you model a building, you are completely constructing the actual construction in the virtual world. So that kind of detailing should be there in this virtual equivalent. So that is the actual BIM model, okay? So, and when we say, see, many 3D models are just the, length and breadth, right? No, but BIM model should also have the characteristics. So, like both physical logical means, what do you mean by the physical logical equivalent of the counterparts means that when I say this part is a concrete and this part is a steel, and when we stress or compress, that actual property should be available even in the virtual model that we are having. So that kind of physical property should be implemented in the virtual model. So that kind of model it should be having. And the intelligent elements such as walls, column, doors, stairs, all should be there, which will help us to simulate the world even before the construction starts. So that is the actual purpose of the BIM, right? And the last thing is the additional thing, which is an additional outcome of this thing, is that it helps for the collaboration. Like with the help of our iPhones and iPads, clients, consultants, professionals, all the stakeholders of that project who are involved in that project can collaborate in a single platform. Not like what we are doing right now. It's like handling that same file, but everyone is handling that single file. Okay. So, what is our industry doing so far? Like before the introduction of BIM, we say that we are having our computers, we are having our models and softwares. Everything is good and well and good, right? But what is actually happening, I'll tell you. So we are doing our drafting in AutoCAD. Okay, that is a separate thing. And if we want to visualize 3D, we are having softwares like SketchUp, AutoCAD 3D, everything is happening. But the important thing is, they are again reconstructing the same thing separately from scratch in that new software. That is something funny happening. You get the point? Or they are having the drawing in the AutoCAD, which is a separate file. They are again reconstructing the same thing in SketchUp from scratch to show it in a 3D model. That is what is happening right now. And the same goes for the analysis software. So there are so many analysis softwares. One of the famous ones are StatPro, ANSYS, everything is there. But again, the same thing implies here also. If you want to create an analyze that model in this software, StatPro software, you have to construct that model inside that software from start. Okay. Again, there are separate MEP drawings. MEP is nothing but mechanical, electric, and plumbing. And there are scheduling softwares, like Primavera, MS Project, Excel, everything is there. Okay, so a few people might be wondering, okay, Primavera and MS Project, yeah, it is a well-known scheduling project. But what is MS Excel doing here? Yeah, but it is true that even today people are using Excel as an effective, scheduling tool. Which is actually not advised, but yeah, it is. People are using Excel for scheduling, so that's why I've included here. And finally, everything has a separate documentation process. Everything is manual, paperwork. Everything is still there, still happening. Because of this, what is the outcome? It is of poor collaboration between all the departments and parties, all the stakeholders. So this is what is happening in our industry so far. And we can with confidence say that this has been the case for almost 10 years or even more, 10 to 20 years we can say. This is what is happening even now in most of the projects. So what we are trying to do with BIM is this. So what are the benefits of BIM? So it's essentially the opposite of the previous slide, right? So I'll change anything in the center. Like whatever you change in that single BIM model will reflect all the views, all the stakeholders. Okay, I'll just allow you to read these benefits because it's self-explanatory. As I told you, it's just the opposite of the previous slide. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds to go through. Okay, you people read.
Hello, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Sir, can you please make it in full screen mode, sir, so that we can see it clearly?
Yeah, it is in full screen mode. Sir, again, my laptop is in full screen only. This is the Yeah, this is the maximum. I don't know. Maybe something with the Google Meet. Are you seeing any of my laptop elements other than the slide? Like
No, sir. No, sir.
yeah. So then that means that it is in full screen.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so what like essentially this thing is that we are trying to have collect the data or have like right from the starting planning designing stage, all the data, all the resources, all the calculations put into a single file of the and have it for the whole building cycle. When I say whole building cycle, it is not just the start of the construction, end of the construction. No, it's not just till the finishing of the construction. It is the life cycle of the whole building, the working, the operation and maintenance, till the destruction. As you can see in the left side, it's the when I say the whole cycle of the structure, it is still the demolition. So all that thing, all the data from start till the end, till demolition, all the data is present in a single file. So which we call that it is the BIM model of that specific structure. So that is the whole idea. Okay. Shall we move to the next one? Okay, I am going. Okay. So now let us look at the levels of BIM. Okay. This single picture which I took it from the internet gives a perfect summary of what we are going to see in the next few slides. Okay, so I'll spend a few seconds in this photo itself. So level 0 is like mostly 90% it is paperwork. When you in the construction world, when you have like 90% of the work in paper, and for namesake you are using some systems, that is level 0. Okay, we can say it's the starting stage, like say 2000s or 2005 or 2010 also for a few sites. For namesake, they had CAD, but what they do is they print it out. They don't use that CAD file as is. They design it there, but they print it out and they give it to the other party. So that is level 0. Okay. Now comes level 1. I am sure that level 1 everyone is familiar of. So all the departments, all the designer tools, all the planning people, everyone is using systems and laptops, but still only up to some extent. They are struggling to do between 2D and 3D. So that is level 1. Okay. Now comes level 2. Okay, yeah, level 1 has 0 collaboration. Okay, level 2, people are collaborating. So that is a big step. But still, all are having their own separate files for their own working purposes. That is level 2. But like they are collaborating, but yeah, but still having their separate files. Level 3 is our dream. Okay, where it is only one true single model and file, and all the stakeholders, all the departments, all the parties should access only that file. So that is the level 3. And if you are asking me where are we right now today, in the world we are in between level 2, we can say, in the world. Okay, in India we have crossed level 1 and we are entering level 2. So that is where we are in the current scenario. Okay. So I have essentially told you everything about that. You will just like quickly give it a read. So this is level 0. Okay. See, the last point is the worst part. Whatever they do in the computer, they take it out as a print. So it is in paper and electronic prints, and everything was manual. That is level 0. Okay. Now comes level 1. We can for sure say that even the low level or basic construction sites are following level 1 up to some level. I can say they are starting. Okay, so everyone is having mobile phones and computers, so that is how it is happening. So they are using systems. Okay, so this because of that there are some roles and responsibilities. When I say roles and responsibilities in the digital world, I am saying the digital part of the construction, people are having roles and responsibilities. Okay, and the naming, when I say naming convention, is nothing but how to name a file. So this, what is the architect people will have a naming conventions, and designer people, scheduling people. So all the departments, and they will have a naming convention for the revisions and everything. So that is called naming convention. Common data and environment means it is nothing but having all the files in a common area where all other members can access it. Put it simply, it is nothing but Google Drive. Okay, it is like Google Drive or Dropbox and everything. But generally, people won't use that because of security reasons. So they have their own servers and everything, where they put it into that common data environment, all the files, so that it is accessible by all the other members. And most important thing is, the file is up to date even for the other member. Okay, when I say up to date, see, for example, if I having a file in my local system, and if I do an update, I have to send that file as an email. Even we are doing that even now. But what I'm saying is, if that file is local, I have to email it to that other person to see the new thing. But if it is in a common data environment, if I make a change to that file, if the other person opens, it is immediately visible for him. So that is the great advantage of common data environment. Yeah, agreed. Information hierarchy. Information hierarchy means, okay, first this, then that, this, then that. One good example I can give you of is the drawing sheets. Okay, so we have our drawing sheets, but directly it won't go to the site, right? So first there will be a basic draft, then people will be there to scrutinize it. So it's next level. So after scrutinizing, there will be approval. So after approval, there will be a stamp called as good for construction, GFC drawings. So that is called as hierarchy, right? So similar to that, in the digital world of the construction, there is an agreed information hierarchy which is followed, which is actually good. Okay. If you see in today's scenario, people are not following the third and fourth point. So that is why I'm saying we are not yet completely crossed the level 1. You get my point. So that's the reason. Okay, let's go to level 2. Now comes level 2. The main concept is for collaborative working. All the stakeholders or every planning and organization is working together, looking at the same information. Which is actually, when I say it in words, it looks simple, but it's actually difficult. So that's the reason if we achieve that, it comes under level 2. Okay. And another thing is, second point is the common file formats. So even before the project starts, the stakeholders or the most importantly, the clients should have a guidelines saying that this kind of file should be followed with this format. Let me give you an example. If there are many drafting softwares, one of the most famous softwares is AutoCAD. Well and good. Okay, let us say 3D drafting software. Okay, so for 3D modeling, if we go to one person, he might use any software of his wish, like SketchUp or AutoCAD 3D or whatever. That should not be the case. The client or the stakeholders, when signing the project itself, they will predefine. Okay, if you are going to give this kind of file, it should be under this format, which means that person who is creating that 3D model should follow only that file format or that software to say. Okay, so why is that important? Because there are so many stakeholders where it is not such like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people sitting in different areas, sitting in different departments. So they will have a separate system, and when this is defined in the starting stage itself, sharing of files or when the other person gives you his file, you will know that file will open in your system. So that is the advantage of having a common file predefined in the starting stage itself. That should happen, which is not happening currently. You might not see this as a very big point today because we people by ourselves are using common files. Okay, we assume that the other person will have AutoCAD. We assume that the other person will have SketchUp. We assume that the other person will have MS Project. Okay, but we shouldn't assume. We should have a defined format. So that is the second one. All project and asset information and documents are made electronic. In other words, no paperwork. Okay, and BIM execution plan and digital plan of work. In other words, there should be a separate BIM department in that company to take care of all of these works. So there should be a BIM strategy head who should define, okay, these are the steps that we are going to take. So that kind of thing, for that kind of stuffs, there should be a separate department predefined in that company itself. Not for that special project, I am saying there should be a department in the company itself. So this level 2 is somewhat, or people are struggling to achieve worldwide, not just in India, worldwide. And I'm not saying that it's not happening in India. It is happening in India, but only few companies like L&T and we can just count one, like only like finger. Only very few are there. Okay, but it is happening in India in a very small scale, but it is happening. We're equal to the whole world. Okay. Now comes our future, or to say our vision. Okay, so our vision is level 3, which is nothing but open data standards. So all the file formats shouldn't be accessed, or they shouldn't say that that file can be accessed only in this software. This file can be opened only through this software. It should be open source. What can I tell for an open source file? Yeah, we can say PDF. So PDF is an open source file. You can open that PDF in any like any reader or document reader file form, because it's an open source file format. But that's not the case with our Revit files or other BIM 360 or mostly other AutoCAD files, right? So if you want to open a Revit file, that can be opened only using a Revit software. That shouldn't be the case in the future. That is what we meant by saying open standards. Okay. Second point I have repeated many times, which is to have a single collaborative file online, which can be accessed by all the stakeholders. Third point, which is similar to the first point. Third point is nothing but the first point. Resolve and eliminate issues such as copyright and liability. Okay. Hope this makes sense. From level 0 to level 3. So in short, whatever we discussed, it is here. I'll give you a few seconds to go through it. Okay, good. Now we look at the different stages of it. Few people might be familiar about this, but still, it's good to see it in a different angle, right? So, first thing is a 3D thing. Obviously, if you are a civil engineer, you will know what a 3D drawing is, right? So, it is the typical 3D visualization of the structure. It contains the properties and information and elements with its properties. That is most important. So, it is not just the length and breadth, as I told you. It contains the property of that material that you are defining inside that model, from grass or concrete, steel, whatever. What is the importance of having that property is it helps to simulate. There are many wind testings, right? Wind testings or what to say? Just a minute, guys. Okay, yeah. Sorry, coming back. So it helps for simulation. So that is the importance of having properties. Okay, like as I told you, the ANSYS software or the StatPro software uses these properties. Now the next one is if you want to have a 2D layouts, it can be retrieved from 3D model. So what does this point tell you? This last point, what does this tell you? When you are designing that structure or you're modeling that structure, it should be modeled directly in 3D. You shouldn't start the project in 2D and then make it 3D. Rather, you have to go the other way around, which means that you have to model. People should have that concept of modeling in 3D directly. Okay. If you know, like I'm like only few people are following, but I'm happy that few people are following it. They are directly starting their projects in Revit itself. When I say Revit, it is nothing but 3D model, right? With properties. So in Revit with properties, they are modeling it out, and from that, if you want, the side people are asking their drawings means you have to extract the drawing from that Revit model. So that is what I mean by that 2D should be extracted from the 3D models. It should not be the other way around. You should not start designing in the 2D thing. Okay. Okay, what is 4D? So 4D is nothing but having a time component or date component in the 3D model. Okay, so I'll read it out. Incorporation, time, dimension, the fourth dimension with 3D, progress of building with respect to time. So it is like saying at this time or at this date, the structure will be like this. At this date, the structure will be like this. At this date, this activity is going to happen. So you're showing the structure in 3D model, but according to time. Okay, it is not just a single model which we are revolving. Okay, it is a single model, but it changes according to your time with the schedule. So if you can incorporate or if you can integrate that, that becomes a 4D model. Okay. So the start and end time of each element helps us to visualize the activities. Okay, obviously, it helps to visualize. And yeah, this helps us with scheduling of the activities and tracking with actual activity time. So people are doing scheduling softwares, but if you can have this 3D model along with the scheduling thing, it helps to visualize the amount or the magnitude of work, and you can plan your work accordingly. Okay. Okay, going to the next one. So what is 5D? So we already have 4D, and if we include the cost element to that 4D, it becomes 5D. Okay. So it's nothing but, so for each and every structure element of the structure. When I say element of the structure, it is not just the walls and steel, concrete, and everything. Not just that. It is the each and every element inside, like what is it? Our doors, windows, the tables, chairs, closets, your bathroom. Each and every small item you are defining not just the properties but also the cost. Okay, so what is the use of that? It helps to gather the cost for a specific activity or for a specific day. So when you say activity, that activity can happen for 3 to 4 days. So you can just say, okay, what is the cost for this activity? That software will give you that cost. And okay, if you want to think in the other angle, there are so many activities happening parallelly in a single day, right? So I want to know the cost for today, for this day. So I can, again, it will calculate automatically and give it to you. So that is a very big advantage of having 5D. And with this, we can have material management and quantity scheduling. Yeah, quantity, right? Bill of quantities. So if you work in a site and you are planned, you know how big of a deal is bill of quantities, because it's a tedious process to calculate each and every quantity with its cost and accurately. Okay, so if you are integrating all the elements correctly inside this BIM model, and if it becomes 5D, this bill of quantity will be retrieved automatically with just a single click of a button, which is huge. Okay. Okay, going to the next one. So level of detail. Okay, a few people might be confused. Previously, we saw levels of BIM. Okay, that is different, and level of detail is different. Okay, so the level of BIM is nothing but how much we are started using, or what is the implementation of BIM in the world. So that is the level of BIM. Okay, that is different. Level of detail is nothing but the model that your BIM model that you are creating, right? So what is the level of incorporation of the detailings inside the BIM model? So that is the level of detail. Okay. So I've shown an example using a chair, but okay, for this sake, think of you look at the chair, but the main idea is you are going to model a structure, a very big building. Okay, so keep that analogy in mind. Okay. So yeah, this is actually self-explanatory. So I'll just allow you to just go through. Okay, it's much better if you read it out rather than me explaining. Okay. So level 0. One thing I think will be very clear: as the number increases, the detailing increases. Okay, so yeah, this is level 0, 100. Go into the next one. This is level 200. So this is what I say. See, why do we have so much level? Why can't we whole world follow one level of detail? It is similar to having our recognition survey or preliminary survey, and then later on the later stages having a detailed survey, right? So to start the work, people will have at least a level 100 or level 200 and give that file to the next department. Okay, so it gives a brief idea about the structure and the project, so that the next person can start his work. So that is the use of having LOD, and also it's much faster. At that stage, it is enough, so it is faster. Okay. So a few sites are following level 300. And when I say following means it's the final level itself. Okay, few sites are following this level 300. They don't model more than this level 300. By the way, it's the basic thing for a finish model. Okay, level, at least it should be level 300 to say that it's a good BIM model. So this level 300 gives you the analysis. Just a minute, guys. Okay, so there's something called as LOD 350. Why I have included this is our metro projects all over India, and specifically our Chennai metro is actually following this level LOD 350. Okay, and by the way, metros are one of the first projects. I'm not saying it is the first project. I'm saying it is one of the bunch of first projects to incorporate BIM. So when they incorporated BIM, they were using this LOD 300, which is nothing but in between 300 and 400. Okay, so this is LOD 400. This helps for fabrication mainly. Okay, so you have a file, you're going to give it to a vendor for fabrication. Say, so this LOD 400 will have enough information for the fabricator to exactly shape and cut and create. So that's the whole idea. Okay. Go to the next one. So this is the ultimate level or precision of BIM model you can have. Okay. So this final level of development or as-built condition means the actual built structure or the section is ditto, or say millimeter to millimeter has all the details inside the virtual model itself. Okay, right from the starting. What is it? Let me give you an example of the walls. Okay, no, it doesn't just contain that Revit model or that virtual model doesn't just contain the wall width and thickness. You also have the how much steel, concrete, everything is there, and also with the levels up to the paint level, right? So the plastering, the all punning, and the paint level. Even that paint will be defined in that model. Okay, so what is the thickness of the paint? What is the thickness of the so all those things are. Okay. And finally, even the so this is the ultimate level, which is very rare, but yeah, people are doing it. Yeah, okay. If this has been done, means it can be used for the lifetime of the building. Okay, so which helps for the maintenance and operations of the facilities of that building after the construction is over. So say you finish the construction in 2 years, but that building will go for more than 50 or 100 years, right? Say, So that file will be used for that lifetime of the building for maintenance and operations by those people. Okay, so what are the softwares used for BIM? So I'm just listing a few. So it is not restricted to this. Okay, the ones which I'm listing down is just the famous ones. People who are using it worldwide, or to say most people are using it. Okay, so it is nothing but a few people which are involved in BIM creation right now are Autodesk Revit, which is the main one to say. Okay, so MSK and Primavera for scheduling. Okay, Navisworks for class deduction and coordination management of the different departments. Okay, let me say there are we have the structural drawing. I shouldn't say drawing. I should say BIM model. We have the structural model. We have our MEP model. Right, those are different files. Then we have fire safety models. Then we have our say piping and everything. So all the different files are combined and checked inside this Navisworks. That is called coordination. So Navisworks helps with coordination. BIM 360 for the site people. Okay, so this BIM 360 software essentially collaborates all the different softwares together. To put it simply, I'm telling you. Okay, and it is used in the site both by the site people and the office people. These are just a few items. Okay, there are many, by the way. Okay, so okay, just now I was telling you, Navisworks. So Navisworks is actually essentially used for class deduction by the BIM coordinator. So as a BIM coordinator, he will be using predominantly this Navisworks software. So what is it actually doing? So okay, what is actually class deduction? So what is actually clash? And clash occurs when element of different models occupy the same space. What do you mean by different models? Just now I told you, structural model is a different model, MEP, mechanical, electrical model is different, plumbing model is different. So all those different models, fire hydrant models, those systems are different by, designed by different people. So that's why it's called as different model. And if you put it together and check it for clash deductions, yeah, if it occupies the same space, there is a clash. So how was it done in the previous older times? So it is older process involved overlaying the drawing to see if there are any conflicts. Like in the when I say drawings, it is nothing but the 2D drawings. They overlay on top of each other and check manually. But with BIM, the software does it automatically for you. So why do we need to do this clash deduction? It is used for checking the completed or ongoing work, and it reduces the human error during the model inspections. So when you are going to inspect now, if you are going to have that paper on top of two different model papers on top of it and check, it's highly likely that you might miss a clash by yourself because it's a human error. Yeah, again, it's kind of repeating the same point because several models are integrated into one main BIM model. Okay. Yeah. So it helps to avoid the mistakes which normally would have been discovered on the site. If it is that the clash is detected at site level, think of the implications. Like we have to redo the work, or again sometimes even redesign itself, because there is a clash which they detected only in the site during construction, which is very bad, right? So this helps to avoid those things. So what are there are three types of clashes, okay? So one is nothing but the hard clash. So when two actual physical clash is happening, it is called as hard clash, okay? When they pass through each other in the model. Soft clash. So there are, when we say soft clash, two different elements are not actually touching each other in the model. They are not touching, but they are coming very close to each other such that they are interfering the tolerance level of the other object. Okay, so I have given an example. A building, if it is modeled very near a high tension wire, it is wrong. It is nothing but a soft clash. You can check out the high tension wire, how far it is away from the other structures. Correct? So that is soft clash. So next kind of clash is the workflow clash. So which is nothing but 4D, right? You're scheduling and checking out. But like, okay, just give it a read. When different aspects of work are supposed to be in sequential and are scheduled to occur together or in reverse. So that is having a check on the time and schedule or the parallel works. That is called as workflow clash. Okay. This again and again, it's kind of repeating, but I've stated few facts in these files. So I will just ask you to just quickly give it a read, okay? So I don't want to repeat it again and again. You just quickly give it a read. Okay, next one. The second point is something I want to stress again, because see, collaboration does not always require a workstation. Workstation is nothing but a computer, right? As they are untethered with tablets and phones. So in today's world, everyone is all of us are having smartphones and everything, which is nothing but a very powerful computer, right? So unless you are a designer or a planner, or you are going to start that work by yourself, you don't need a big computer. You are just going to view the file, means that your smartphone is enough for you. So the site, when I used to be in my site, we used to have computers in our site, which is not required today, is the second point. Okay, so why did we have computers in our site? Essentially, in my times when I was in site, is we did only two things in that computer. One, we used to open and view the AutoCAD file. Okay, and two, we used to do some Excel stuffs, obvious calculation, those stuffs are done in that computer. Only two things. But for that, think of the space that is required in that area. Space is actually very, very, very big deal in sites. Okay, you are sitting inside a container. There are so many other stuffs, and that computer is taking up a huge space. Yeah, these things are very important in that time. Okay, so and that separate CPU, separate monitor, all those stuff. But since you're not going to create anything there, you're just going to view things. But with today's cell phones, that computer is avoided totally. Think of that. That is what is the second point. Okay. Okay, moving on to the next one. Yeah. So many people they totally forget about this factor. There is one important factor or concept called as safety in site, right? So they say safety and quality. I don't want to talk about quality in BIM now today. For today, I'll talk, this is a single site for safety. Okay. So we till the previous slide I was talking about designing, planning, coordination. All those stuffs are okay. But for this safety also, you can create a model itself, separate safety BIM model itself in your model, which can be used by the safety engineers and officers for checking. Okay, just look at this left picture. There's nothing but the scaffolding. Okay, so you can simulate. So to construct this structure, what kind of scaffolding formwork should be erected, how that formwork gets erected, how we are going to pour that concrete at that 5th floor or 10th floor or 20th floor. Okay, those things can be simulated in this BIM model itself. So it is not, what I'm trying to say is you need not model only the actual structure. You can model the construction itself, the operation, how it is going to be done. So why is that important? If you can visualize how that is going to be done, safety things can be handled by the safety engineers. Okay. So again, you just give it a read. Okay, I will give you a few seconds. Yeah, sorry. Okay, shall we go to the next one? Okay, so this brings us to the last part of our whole session. Okay, till now the previous things like everything is actually essential parts. Okay, this one I added just for fun, but actually it is useful and to be implemented. This is the future. I mean, where everyone will be having. Okay, don't mistake me when I say future. What I meant to say is similar to smartphones. Like everyone is having smartphones today, this will be there in everyone's hands and heads in the future. Okay, in say 5 to 10 years. But these things are actually happening even today. I will show you some pictures and videos also. Those things are actually happening even today in India also, in LNT also. Okay, so I will show you. So what is augmented reality? In general, it is nothing but placing a virtual object in the real world. So how can that be done? If you people are having iPhones or iPads, you can use something called as that AR machine to. There are many softwares. Okay, so that is okay. Well, I can give you a perfect example. Pokemon Go. So that Pokemon Go game actually uses the AR thing, right? So it places a virtual object in the real world as if it's standing in front of you in the table, on the bed, or it's actually walking in the street. But it's actually a virtual object, that Pokemon. So that is nothing but AR. So how is that implemented in BIM? So site managers can overlay the BIM model on the project site. Okay, so you can look at the examples on the right side. So on the top, that guy is actually wearing a Microsoft HoloLens. Okay, so which means that he's totally hands-free. But the guy in the bottom is using an iPad. Essentially, both are doing the same thing, but the display is different to see. Okay, the bottom iPad is the display. The top, the glass itself is the display. Okay, so yeah, you are having that. The top one is nothing but the HVAC and the other MEP systems. So you have that BIM model file. So you go to the site and you just click it on. That will overlay and show you what is actually how is that actually implemented in that site. Similar to the bottom one, there are drainage systems or to say other electric conduits or something. How is that going and how is it there inside? It's essentially kind of an X-ray thing, right? Okay, so what are the use cases? It helps for designing the AR thing. Our AR helps for designing. It helps for inspection. So that is the right bottom photo. And it helps for real-time maintenance data visualization. Okay. So this is an example using an iPad. Same thing. If you look at the right one, so that guy is using the iPad to check the. That lady is actually using that BIM model to check how that pipe is being laid in the building. Using that BIM model only, she is able to view, but in real time, as though that actual file she can see the actual contents. Okay, that is AR, but using an iPad. So next one is actually AR using a glass, like Microsoft HoloLens. Okay, so you can look at the left guy. Same thing. It's the same. He's looking at the same different. The important thing is he's looking at it before construction. The actual thing is it is under construction. He's just checking and verifying whether those things are correct according to the file. Okay, it's such a big deal. Think of it. You are not having any paper, or you are not having, even if it is a digital file, you usually used to have that model in the phone and then check whether. But here it is essentially overlaying on top of the actual structure itself, and you can check it there and then and there. It's such a big deal. Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously, it is the like everyone are going to use it in a few more years. So, what is the one thing that we are lagging today? Why is it not used by everyone? Is simple cost. Only because of the cost. Okay, people are like capable of designing BIM models. People are having softwares to design BIM models. People are having all the other essential parts to have this AR structure. Only thing is the display thing. Okay, So even for few companies, iPads are a big deal. Seriously, okay. So like 70,000 or even 1 lakh iPads, they can't afford. So iPad is nothing but a starting stage for AR. Think of HoloLens. HoloLens is nothing like I don't know today's price. It was like 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. That HoloLens. So one piece of that glass itself, and our vision is to have everyone, all the people in the site to wear these glasses. So it's a simple. Cost is the problem. Yeah. So it brings to the conclusion. I hope that I was in time. Okay. So what is the conclusion? BIM requires more time in the initial stages, but it drastically reduces time in the further process. Okay, as the graph shows in the right side, the conventional flow, the time required for the conventional flow is as the gray color thing, right? So initially it's very doesn't require much labor or time or man hours, but in the documentation or the middle stage of the construction, it requires such a huge amount of man hours, and again at the end it reduces. But in BIM, it is slightly kind of different. Most of the man hours, the labor intensive work for modeling and all is done in the initial stage itself. It takes such a lot of time and cost also. But everything happens in initial stage, which helps to reduce the time in the future for all the stakeholders. So that is the one different thing about BIM. And another important thing is it helps to have a virtual copy of the whole construction process itself. So construction is happening. So right from the designing, planning stage, not just the pre-construction stage. People were thinking about the design itself, but even during construction itself, we are updating things in the BIM model, right? So okay, this is the planned scope. This is the planned date. Then this is the actual scope, and this is the actual date that this was completed. This was done in this date. This was done that date, and there are this many issues, this many problems. Everything regarding that activity, regarding that structure, is updated in the BIM model, which is a big thing. So within the single file itself, you have a very big summary of whatever you want to see. Yeah, and it helps in the maintenance and operation during the building life cycle. After the building is construction and it is running and operating, this BIM file helps for maintenance and operations. So that is the whole gist about our BIM concept in civil engineering. I hope this was helpful to you, and somehow, some way, it incorporated interest in BIM into you. Okay, if that had happened, I'm actually happy, and that this is something reflected from my side. Okay. So thank you everyone. It was a pleasure giving this presentation to you, and I hope seriously hope that this was helpful to you. Okay. So thank you guys, and thank you I thank the management of the college and all the staffs for giving me this opportunity. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Sarang.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. Now, Sarang sir will deliver the vote of thanks. Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We are grateful to have Mr. K. Umamaheshwaran, sir, on this good day for presenting a wonderful session on building information modeling, and also for accepting our request for addressing the webinar. I hope our participants will be benefited and gained knowledge on the concepts of building information modeling from this session. We are extremely happy to have so many participants from various parts of the country for joining this webinar. And I personally thank each one of you for joining us on this wonderful day. I also thank my dear colleagues from Civil Department, Mohammed Satak AJ College of Engineering, and my dear students for helping to make this webinar a grand success. We wish that everyone should be safe, healthy, and cautious in this COVID situation, and think that this too shall pass on. Thank you, everyone. Now, participants, you can please ask your queries, and we will also forward the feedback link in Google Meet as well as YouTube. Kindly fill in the feedback form, and the certificates for the registered participants will be forwarded to the respective mail IDs. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Please ask your queries now. Participants, participants who are wishing to ask question can unmute themselves and ask.
Sir, there is some various questions from participants. So, whether BIM can be used for small projects also?
Yeah. So, see, the whole gist about this thing is that it is not about a big or small projects. Even if you are constructing a G+1 building, small residential building, even that can be designed in this using our BIM software itself. So, what people are concerned about today it's the common thinking of our humans. Is it actually giving me value? Okay. So, if you want to model something in Revit, you should have let me go from the base level itself. Okay, so you should have a software. That itself is a big cost. Okay, don't think of the black market. Okay, the softwares that we use, pirate software. No. The original softwares are very costly. Okay, so that is one thing. And to use those softwares, you should have a good system. Okay, which is again costly. Okay. So one, the cost of the software. Second, the machine that you want to use in of that software. Okay. Then comes the person who's going to design that software, right? So if someone is sitting and designing in Revit and he knows to coordinate and he knows to do everything, he should be paid big. Okay, you are getting my point. Okay, so all these things incorporate the cost. Yes, those things can be designed, even a small project can be designed in using this BIM model, but people today are concerned about their potential outcome for spending that much. Okay, whether it is actually giving me value. So if I just do, forget AutoCAD, like AutoCAD is such a basic thing today. Okay, even the like what is it? You need not even be a certified AutoCAD people to design there. So it is that kind of level today. So people are thinking, okay, I can design it in AutoCAD, put 4 columns, 4 beams, and design it, and then give and somehow get approved, and then construct. It is nothing for me, just few thousands. So why should I spend lakhs? That is the only thing which is stopping people for today. Other than cost, second thing I would say is our vigilance or the what is it? People are not aware of these things. So that is okay. In starting I told you, even civil engineers are not aware of this BIM concept. So second thing is the awareness of the concept itself. So only if you know that these things are available, you will want to try it out. So one is in my view, I think the cost and the awareness of using these things is the one stopping people from using this. Other than that, it can be used for any kind of thing. Okay. I hope that answered your question.
Sir, excuse me, sir. There are some more questions in the chat box, sir. Can you please answer that also, sir?
Chat box, just a minute.
Sir, can I tell you the question, sir? Can you please answer it?
Yeah. You please. I'm just searching for the chat box. Yeah, you please.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. From Mr. Saravana Kumar Ji, he's asking whether BIM is used for even residential buildings.
Residential buildings, of course, yeah. Actually, it is why predominantly used in, at least in L&T, I can say. I can talk for L&T. It is predominantly used for residential buildings. There's an IC called B&F IC in L&T. Okay, buildings and factories. So buildings and factories IC is one of the big IC to use BIM widely in all their projects. See, think of it. All the structures and everything is constructed. The MEP things, the clash deduction things, everything is done. Seriously, it is done in residential buildings. And it is not like a side thing. It is actually main thing there. Okay, the residential buildings are one of the main structures to incorporate BIM.
Okay, sir. Next question from Hibatul Shakur. He's asking that what can be the research topics related to BIM for a PhD purpose?
Yeah, actually there are I've actually come across many PhD papers already. What you can do of is that you can by the way, I don't restrict to whatever I'm saying. Okay, you please go ahead and explore for yourself. Okay, because you have to explore. Then only you are a good researcher and lecturer. So I would say there are many, not just designing. There is another important thing called coordination in BIM itself. Okay, so the thing which I gave you, that Navis work, that class detection thing, it is just one of the small. It is an important thing, but it is just one of the things of the coordination thing. Okay, so there are many levels or kinds of job that you can do in BIM. I think I told you all, there should be a separate BIM department in that company itself. So think of it. If there is a department itself, see, all the people inside the department are not going to do the same thing. Okay, so one person will be just designing or schedule. Okay, another person will be scheduling. Another person will be coordinating. Okay, another person will be verifying, and he will be implementing. And if it's a really big organization, there will be a head manager, and there are so many people who will be like having a strategic deal. So you can go to that level. There are BIM strategies. I've seen people doing papers on BIM strategies. Strategy means how to implement BIM. Okay, now let us say that today is the first day that you are hearing about BIM. Okay, so if now you are going to your site and you want to implement BIM in your site itself, how are you going to do that? That how is nothing but the strategy. Okay, so there are many papers on BIM strategies. There are people doing research on BIM coordination, and there are few other papers which I have seen, like the common data environment, right? So common data environment, how people can have a common file, how that can be achieved. Okay, there are see, today scheduling is a separate thing, modeling is a separate thing, analysis is a separate thing, right? So how all these different stakeholders, the architect thing, the owner, the client, everyone having their own different, how can that be collaborated and combined? That kind of thinking is still in process. So that kind of thinking also you can do many research papers. Okay, so don't just think of designing alone. When I say designing, is nothing but structure design, or that essentially Revit model. So don't just think of Revit models. There are so many vast fields in BIM. Okay, hope that answered.
So, sir, the one more question is, what kind of software should we learn first, sir? I mean, to know about the basics in BIM.
To learn, okay, that's a good question. Okay, to say, as I didn't want to say this, but you start with Revit. Okay, so people assume that if you know Revit, you know BIM modeling, which is not true. Okay, but still, you start with the Revit software. You try to learn Revit, how modeling is done inside Revit, and you try to learn that thing completely. Okay, and then you can go ahead with other softwares like Navis work. And again and again, I'm talking only about Autodesk software because Autodesk is the predominant software used in the industry. So that is why I'm giving you softwares from Autodesk. There are many softwares, but you start with Revit. Okay, then you can go to Navis work. Then you can go to the subsequent thing. There is something called as BIM 360. Those are the final steps. The BIM 360 is nothing but collaborating all the other softwares. Those are the final steps. You start with Revit, okay, and then you go for. If you are totally fresh and new, start with Revit right now. That is what I'm advising. Okay.
Okay, sir. And there is one more question from Mr. Satish. He's asking if you are using a BIM software, sir, the project may increase or not. If it increases, what are the steps to reduce the budget?
So, okay, yeah, what you are asking is because I'm using this software, my cost is increasing, right? So how to like whether it essentially comes back to the same example that I gave you before. Okay, see, if you are going to implement BIM, there are going to be cost incorporated. Okay, so that is the software cost, the system cost, the person who is going to design that BIM model, that cost will be there. Okay, so let us say that is one level. What you have to think of is your project cost is equal to, or whether it makes sense to use that much of BIM model into your project. Okay, see, when I say residential towers are using, or residential buildings are L&D is using BIM model, it is not G+5. Okay, it is like what to say, G+20, but with towers, with separate towers, like say five towers or 8 towers. So it is nothing but 5 separate buildings, each of 20 floors. So that much of, when you are designing for that much of scale, this BIM cost is nothing for you, because the advantage given by this BIM is so drastic. Okay, cost is there, true, but in the long run, when the construction stage, you are avoiding so many other costs. Like I gave an example, like class deduction, one of the examples, right? So you have a clear view, the collaboration, the coordination, people are the ease of use, right? So all these advantages make sense for that much volume of project. You get my idea? Okay. So that basic level of cost which is going to be incorporated is, yeah, it will be there, but you have to think whether that cost is makes sense for your whole project. Okay, to say, yeah, to say, in the future it will come down for sure, definitely for sure. Similarly, what think what happened for AutoCAD. Everyone is having AutoCAD, right? It is just if you are a civil engineer, you are determined to know AutoCAD. It is a child's play. If you don't know AutoCAD, you are not a civil engineer. People assume that, right? So that will happen in a future stage. When that stage becomes, all these softwares and all these BIM incorporations, everything will be like a basic default standard thing, which brings down the cost so much. Today it is like having it is the same in all the fields, right? Smartphones, laptops. I was told the first laptop which came in 1995 and all cost up to 2 lakhs. Okay, and the things that we are getting today for 20,000 rupees, the laptop for 20,000 rupees is 100 times better than that laptop. You get the idea? So over time, the cost will come down. But for today, that cost, there are few ways which I cannot discuss here. Okay, there are few ways by which you can bring down the cost by yourself. Yeah, even today, you can bring down the cost and design a very good BIM model. Okay, you do the research by yourself. That's all I can say. Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Please. Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is Sir Dr. Mahesh Chaugule from Maharashtra.
Okay.
So I'm working as a head of the civil engineering department at DKT Chalkaranji. So that was a wonderful webinar, and thanks to the resource person, and also thanks to the organizer and the head of the civil engineering department for conducting this. So my question is only that, so how we can contact the resource person as well as this software company, so that we can get better details. If you share with us from the email also, so that will be also better, because that was really the very nice session.
Okay, so I think you're essentially talking to like you want my details, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can. I am actually okay with giving presentations. Okay, you can get my details from Sarangan. Sarangan, you can contact him, right?
Okay, sir. Sir, can you please share your contact address through this chat box, sir?
Yes. That will be better, sir. That.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I must thank you to the civil engineering department and the head of because this is a wonderful webinar, sir, and really.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, from your side.
Thank you, sir. It's a big word. Thank you. Yeah.
Question, sir, from Grishma R. Pillai. What they are asking is, what do you think about the future of BIM in India, considering cost and other factors? Will it be that helpful for us in the near future?
Yeah. So the future of BIM, specifically in India, you're asking, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the thing is, BIM, I would say it totally depends on our government. Okay. So one important thing that people are forgetting is IS codes. So there is no IS code till now for BIM. You know that, which is which is actually shameful. Okay, I am not criticizing just India. All over the world, there is only one country right now which has their national standards for BIM, which is nothing but UK. Okay, so UK is the only country which is having BIM standards determined by the government. See, we are having IS standards. Similarly, they have their own standards. So, but that is the only country today having the similar to IS standards. What I'm saying. So that our government should take a big step and bring those standards. And actually, the one funny part is UK government actually released their thing, and with the help of the UK guidelines for BIM, ISO is preparing the BIM standards. Okay, so right now we have there are actually 7 modules of the ISO, our international standards for BIM. There are 7 modules, out of which I think 2 to 3 are out right now. Okay, so what usually India, not just India, any country, what they would usually do is they would take that ISO as a reference and modify it for our own country. That is what usually happens. Okay, so that should happen at a faster pace. So one important thing in my view is government. So government should implement this as soon as possible. So only when they know that, okay, this is the standard, okay, this should be followed like this. Okay, how many people will be there to spread this message? They can't. Okay, okay, how many people are in today's webinar? This many people are there. So this many people got this information, but what about the rest of the people? So the spreading will happen fast only if the government takes an initiative. Okay, so when the basic standards are there set by the government, this implementation, not just India, the whole world will be very, very fast. One thing. Second thing, coming back to the previous thing, the open source standard or the cost of the softwares should come down, or it will come down for sure. It is similar to seeing our Excel or even AutoCAD. So there are many drafting softwares today, right? If you explore, AutoCAD is the most widely used one. Yeah, correct, true, but it is not the only software, right? You can explore and find so many free drafting softwares. Free drafting. See, you need not even pay for them. There are many free drafting softwares for you. And if I'm correct, there are many items which are online only. You open the browser, you design and draft there itself, and you take so there are many options and those things. So in the coming future, the cost of using this BIM model and all will come down. It will come down. I'm sure of that. Okay. So that cost will come down, and next is the implementation thing, which should spread. And if you're asking me who should implement this, yeah, first it is the government, but the second it is people like you, the colleges, the institutions. You people should push it forward. You should at least spread the message. Okay, let them take it or not, but you should at least spread the message so they will be aware when they go to the outside real world. They will be at least aware, okay, this is an option, this is how it should be there. They will try to implement. That is what is called pushing, that is called implementing. So I actually take this opportunity to ask or request you, institutions like you, to push our BIM for the future. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for attending the session. Sir, kindly please share your contact number, sir. Everyone are asking you.
myself, Sarangan. Actually, you can give them by yourself. You can. I actually no problem for me sharing, but I request everyone to get it from Sarangan if it is okay with you. Okay. You can feel free to contact me. Sarangan, you can share them my email ID. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. I'll share them, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And everyone is asking for this PPT presentation, sir. Can you please share us? Can you please share me so that I can forward it to them?
Yeah, actually, that is sorry, I can't do that because this is kind of first thing. It is not a PPT. Okay, this is something called Keynote, which is a Mac software. Second thing, this is like internal property companies thing. Okay, so that's why I can't share it with you. Okay, sorry, I can't give you that request. Okay. Hope you understand.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Participants will be sharing the video presentation. So, what is being recorded. So, it will be shared to your email ID.
Yeah, okay. Then do that.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable speech.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys.
Okay, respected sir and madam. We are concluding on this. Sir, if you are having any queries on this session or any doubts, you can please mail to me so that I can forward it to sir and he'll give back the queries, sir.
Yeah, sure. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much. I'll take my leave. Okay. Hope this was informative session for you. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir and madam. We are